All right, so the last video for this section, which is I think 9-2, I promised to show you the answers to number 10. Number 10, they ask you which of these three right here would be transformations. Well, that's kind of obvious. This one would be P to P prime would be a transformation, and P to P prime 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 would be a transformation. P to P prime prime, not a transformation. It's not the same orientation. Remember the word that we did a few videos ago? To just slide this one from here to here, it doesn't fit. I can go over to this and slide. If I don't think y'all need me to do this, but I'll do it anyway. If I trace, this is kind of like using patty paper. If I trace, and all I did was slide this over here, I may be able to get point P over to point P prime, although it looks like it's going to be a little low. It's not going to work because as I slide it over, you see that this does not map onto this one exactly. So from P to P prime would be a translation, and from P to P prime prime prime, there would be a translation. Let me show you how it looks when you write the answer. This is the answer over here. P is mapped onto P prime and P is mapped onto P prime prime prime. Those are the translations. You could, goodness, you could use this. The translation of P to P prime is a translation, and the translation P to P prime prime prime. Okay, because those indicate a directed line segment. Okay, so there's that. This one, wants to know which part of the pre-image is translated. I think I've got it down here. It says which part of the pre-image is translated onto CD. Okay, so the pre-image is A, B, C, D, E, F. And if I translate it over to where I'm on top of this one, then you can see that what just moved right here was the segment AF. AF moved over and now it's on top of CD, because if we named this one, this would be A prime, B prime, whoops, C prime, D prime, E prime, F prime. So AF mapped over to CD. That's how we would answer. It says express the translation as a function of 2 points of the hexagram. So they want to know what goes down here. What segment did I translate? And remember, I need a line segment. So it said 2 points. So I need 2 points. So one point that's going to map to the other point. So I'm trying to kind of give it away right here. I mapped A to C, didn't I? So I started off at A and A turned over, and we stopped when A got on top of C. So AC is one of the correct answers. That's not the only one, because remember, we mapped not just point C right here, but we also mapped this other point F. So what would the other correct answer be? It would be F, D. Okay. So Now they say, make use of this structure by applying this translation many times. You could create a row of hexagons. So in other words, if we kept doing this over and over, we take this one and slide it over here. And then we take this other one and slide it over here. So we could just keep doing it over and over and over, and that would create a row of hexagons. That's what it's saying. It's saying now, which one of these other transformations would we have to do if we want to fill the entire page? So not just this row, but we want to do another row. Okay, so that's basically what you'd have to do. So they want to know, will the translation from B to C create? Well, let's move this one back over here because we know what the row looks like. So let's move this one back over here. So if we translate this down from B to C, okay, now that gave me well, now I'm all confused. I mean, because I still have a hexagon there, but this hexagon is overlapping the other hexagons, and now I see squares everywhere. Um, so yes, that might fill the page, but I've got overlap, and they didn't give me permission to overlap. So each hexagon needs to not have any shared points with any other hexagon. So I would say no on that one. So let's move this back. Can we translate B to D? So if I move B to D, all right, so I'm going to move B point up there till it gets down here to D. Okay, so I moved B point straight down here to the D point. And now it looks like that would I would be able to fill my page, because what did that movement do? It just started a new row. So now that I've got this one, I could take a copy of this one and translate its B down to D, and then so forth. I could keep going. So this looks like the B to D is the correct answer. So let's see if we can see why B to E is not the correct answer. Oh, my dogs, they're barking at who knows what. Only because I'm making a video. That's when they always choose to bark. Okay, so if I move B down to E, I'm going to move it down here. Okay, so if I did this one again and I moved, let's say, whoops, it's copying more than I want. If I moved this one back over here, it started off right there, pretend. And then I moved it down. So I would get a row of hexagons, but did you notice that there's this empty space in between here? So I've got hexagons, but then I'm going to have a row of diamonds that are going along too. So while it does make a nice little pattern, they all made patterns, but to do what it said, fill the page with, and they should have been more specific and said non-overlapping hexagons. That's what we needed. All right, that's it for 9-2. If you have any questions, please email me or any one of your other teachers. We can all answer these questions, I promise.